Party? I'm not really a big partier, to be honest. I turned 21 like I'm Jonathan. I'm a junior and I'm studying computer science and business at UT Austin, and I'm from Plano, Texas.
So what does your morning look like from the time you wake up to the moment you go into class? What does that look like? What time do you wake up? Give me all the details. Go for it.
Well, I mean, as a CS major, I like procrastinate as much as possible. So I have a 30-minute walk to campus. So that means I'll probably wake up 45 minutes before my class and then get ready in 15 minutes. I don't really eat breakfast, to be honest. So I'll just, get dressed, check the weather, and get out the door in 15 minutes.
You said you walk, but you have a longboard, right?
Yeah, I do have a longboard. So I used to actually have an electric skateboard that I'd use, and I could get to campus in like 8 minutes, 10 minutes or something, instead of 30 minutes. But then I used to store it inside the lockers in the gym, Gregory Gym. But what they did is they didn't let people bring their boards into the gym anymore for whatever reason. And they just have these little stands outside that don't really hold electric boards because the battery pack is too big. So now I just ride a manual board around, but it's like a lot slower compared to like an electric one. It takes probably like 15-20 minutes, which isn't even that much faster considering the fact that I have to like carry the board around and everything, and I can't really, it's tougher to go up and down hills, and the streets in West Campus by Austin, by the campus are they're pretty rough. So yeah, I have a tough time with that. I'll only do it if I'm like really late for a class. I'll take the board out.
We're in a lecture hall right now. This is like the big part of being a CS major. You get to actually learn about CS and coding. So take us through kind of what is expected in lecture. What do you learn about, and what do lectures look like as a UT student and as a CS student?
What do lectures look like? I think it really depends class by class. I'll say every single professor I've had has been a really good professor. I don't think I've had any professor that I didn't like, but they all have like really different teaching styles. So some might be more lecture heavy, some might be more project based, some might be more like problem sets, handwritten things. But I guess the main thing that I try to get out of all of them is I just try to internalize the material and just try to learn it and care less about the grade than actually like understanding things, because I think in the long run that'll serve you a lot better probably. I think there are two kinds of classes. There are some classes where you realize, man, this is very lecture heavy, I kind of need to be in the class. And then there's some classes where, especially if they record it on Zoom, you can kind of get the feel that, I can stay home today and probably be fine and look over the lecture and like, be able to get through the homework and the projects. So it really depends on what kind of class it is.
Like, talk a little bit about maybe a certain class that you're taking right now, like maybe some just concept or problem that you've been working on, and a little bit more detail on your classes this semester.
Okay. Yeah, so I don't think I mentioned this, but I'm actually also a business major. So most of my classes this year are actually business classes, but we can get into that later. I'm only taking one CS class this semester. It's Machine Learning 2. So that's kind of building on the first machine class that I took last semester. So we're kind of looking at like the behind the scenes of like why different models work, why we would choose one machine learning model over another, and kind of like the statistics behind it. And yeah, that's definitely a class I would recommend. I think machine learning is very interesting, but I think the toughest part about probably CS classes in general is it's kind of hard to like figure out how you would apply that into like the real world, if that makes sense. You don't really know like if you had a job what it would be like a lot of these projects. I don't think you would be doing this type of stuff in a real job, and I can kind of say that from experience from like past internships and stuff. Like in my internships, I really don't do that much of what I'm learning in school. So I think most of the real world experience you can get through like student orgs that like focus on career development, and they can kind of like set you through a path of like what it's like to actually be working out in the field.
You're also a business major or minor?
I'm a business major and I picked up a marketing minor recently.
Okay, wow. So like 3 things. So talk a little bit about that decision. What made you choose that, and what you like about it, what you don't like about it at UT.
Yeah, so the reason I chose to go into business and computer science is because, I'm kind of indecisive, and I feel like both of those are very industry agnostic, if that makes any sense. You can kind of go into anything, and you can kind of apply some technology skills or like business skills and like be able to go into like any industry pretty much. So that's the main reason why I chose to go into business and CS. I find that business is a good way to balance out my CS course load, because CS course load I would say is very heavy, very analytical, very STEM focused, like a lot of math, a lot of logic, a lot of thinking. And the business classes, not that they're like super easy, but they're usually a little more chill, a little less workload, and it's more like free flowing, loose stuff that's not as analytical. So I can kind of like hone in my like maybe writing skills or something like that I don't really get to focus on in my CS classes. And I think it's a good combination of skills, because a lot of the things that I see in my CS classes, I can think of ways to overlap it with the business classes. I like the kind of having the skill set to be able to kind of make like a product or maybe like a website or an app or something for myself, and I don't really need to rely on whatever deliverables someone else is telling me to do. As for things I don't really like, for me, maybe it's because I'm not like the greatest student or something, but so much of computer science is like a black box to me. I don't really understand like a lot of things here and there, and if something's not working, I have to end up like Googling it on like Stack Overflow or whatever. And at the end of the day, I'll usually figure out how to fix it up and get things to work, but I kind of don't like the idea of not understanding 100% what I'm doing.
Probably done with lecture by now. It's like 2, 3 maybe. What are you doing for lunch? Are you eating on campus? Are you going home? Do you meal prep? Do you buy groceries here? What does that look like for you?
Yeah, I try to avoid eating out as much as possible, especially in Austin near campus. I think the eating out is pretty expensive. I'll do it like if I'm in a rush, but I usually try to go home and cook something. Sometimes I'll meal prep and just put like a ton of like vegetables and meats and rice in like a rice cooker and press the button, and then it'll come out and it'll taste okay. So I'll like pack that for like the week if I'm really in a rush. But I usually try to go back home and cook myself something hot, because I just feel like it tastes a lot better when it's fresh.
And then groceries, do you buy them? Is there a place on campus that students buy from, or do you drive somewhere and get groceries? Does someone deliver it? How does that work?
I think on campus, if you want something on campus, there's the Target on 21st, a lot of people go to. And then besides that, there are like the Orange Marts, which are scattered around in West Campus. But I think those are both a little bit overpriced just because they're in West Campus. So I think what most people do is go to HEB. If you don't have a car, you can get there by bus. I think you can even bike there. I think there's a Trader Joe's that you could walk to even. It's kind of a long walk. But I think you could even get to a Trader Joe's. I like to buy things in bulk, and I'm really an avid Costco fan. So I have some friends that drive that'll take me to Costco every week or two, and I'll just buy everything I need for like the next few weeks in one go, and I feel good about myself because it's all like in bulk, and like in theory it's like a little cheaper.
Okay, you're done with lunch. It's kind of the evening time. A lot of students don't really have like a strict plan of what they need to do or where they need to be, but I see a lot of people either going to the gym, they start studying, they start hanging out with friends. What does your evening look like after classes? What do you do? Where do you go? How do you use your time?
I'm probably like most people. I mean, all those things you listed, I think I pretty much do those things. Go to the gym. I used to work out more. I haven't really worked out in a while. I'm signed up for the Longhorn Run, which is like a...
Oh, wait, really?
Yeah, I'm signed up for the
I think
Longhorn
I'm
Run.
doing that
Are you doing that too?
I think I want to.
Yeah, I signed up for there's a 5K and a 10K. I did the 10K because I heard it was more fun. But I am not a runner at all. I don't think I've run in like 2 years. So I'm going to try to start training for that like after my classes if possible. Either like go on the Clark Field track, or maybe on a treadmill, or maybe just jog around campus. Who knows? I don't know. And I also like to go to the gym to play volleyball with my friends. And if I have time, I try to go to the tennis courts, but they're kind of far away. It's like 2 or 3 miles away, so I have to take a bus out there. But if I have time, I'll go out there with my younger brother, who's also on campus, and try to get some exercise in. I signed up to be a tennis instructor for the UT Rec Sports, so it's kind of a way for me to get out of my apartment and get back into tennis, like force myself to do that, because it's a hobby that I would like to keep up if I can. And besides that, I usually save my work for like late night. So like after all that leisure activity, after I hang out with my friends or whatever, I'll like grind things out at night. Probably not the best idea, but I guess that's just when I find myself the most productive.
Do you party? Do you party, John?
Party? I'm not really a big partier, to be honest. I turned 21 like pretty recently, so I tried some amount of alcohol. I don't really like the taste, to be honest, and I don't know. I don't really get drunk off of it either, so I don't know. I don't really. For now, I don't really understand the appeal. Maybe my mind will change later, but yeah, I don't really like the taste for now. So I'm not really a partier. I like kind of like chill hangouts, just going to a random friend's apartment and just chilling there. Maybe like a study session. We can like knock some work out together, or sometimes maybe like board games, Exploding Kittens, something like that. A lot of
Exploding Kittens.
You never played that before? It's like a really fun card game. I would recommend it.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know. It's a lot of fun. You kind of have to play it to understand it, but it's really not that difficult to pick up.
So your go-to is just a very chill, mellow hangout. Maybe 2 birds, 1 stone deal. Study.
Yeah, I find studying a lot easier when I have someone there with me. So like, they can see me if I slack off and start pulling up a random YouTube video or something like that. They'll see like what you're up to.
I know you said you do homework late.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have any method to that madness? Do you study a certain way? Do you listen to music? Do you prioritize a certain class over another? Do you have segments where you just block off everything and do like what does your study routine look like, and how do you study for classes? How do you study for tests? How do you study for quizzes? What does it look like for you?
Well, I think in high school I was a really big like GPA guy. I wanted the best GPA possible. But after coming to college, I kind of realized that I don't think it's really that important, especially for like a CS major. So I've kind of been laying low on the studying recently. I kind of do things as like on an as needed basis. So I do like to listen to music. I don't like to listen to music with words because it kind of distracts me and I'll like say the words in my head. So I'll try to listen to like maybe like jazz or lo-fi music, or maybe white noise or something that just like help me keep focused, but I don't want any words to distract me. And yeah, I guess my biggest priorities whenever I'm working is whatever's due the soonest, which makes sense. I mean, I probably should focus on like longer term stuff, but I'll try to focus on whatever I need to do immediately, and then after that, if I'm feeling especially productive, then I'll block off some time to either work on some extra homework in the future. Although I don't usually work on like school work. I try to, if I have free time, I'll try to work on some like personal work, either for like a student org or something that I want to pick up myself, because I just find that more interesting. I think it's more important than getting ahead on just some schoolwork for a grade.
So day's kind of coming to a close. You're probably back at home, either studying, eating, whatnot, but people watching this are probably wondering, you're coming back to an apartment, or maybe did you dorm freshman year?
Yeah, so our freshman year was the COVID year, so I didn't dorm the first semester, but I came on campus second semester. So I lived in the dorm 1 semester in my freshman year.
Oh, really? You did? So okay, perfect. So people are probably wondering, well, have you lived in a dorm prior to that, or an apartment, or?
No, I just lived at home with my parents, and then.
So yeah, a lot of people are probably in that similar situation watching this. They're just sitting at their parents' house, searching up where to go, what life is like at a school like UT. So, what was dorm life like? What is apartment life like? Did you have roommates when you were dorming? I know Jonah's my roommate. So,
yeah, we're roommates.
Yeah. But what was that transition like? What is living in an apartment in a city like Austin like?
Yeah, actually, I did like the dorms a lot. I think it was tougher for me because it was the COVID year. I wasn't really supposed to be seeing people too often. But it was fun that I was so close to people and like my close friends that we would mask up and like, hang out with each other sometimes. So I think the nice part about the dorms is definitely the convenience.
Speaking of convenience, Rate My Dorm is a very convenient website if you are a college student looking for a dorm. It's a website created by Jed Kell. You guys might know him if you're interested in CS. However, it's a fairly new project and there's not many reviews up on the website. So if you are a college student and you're living in the US and you have a dorm, go look at the description. There's a link. Fill out a review. It won't take that long, and you will be helping students in the long run find dorms that suit their needs. So thank you, Jed, for making this website, and thank you for giving me this opportunity to do this little thing. So kudos, go check it out, go check Jed out, and back to the video.
Especially if you're on a meal plan. I think you have to be on a meal plan, I don't know. But you just go downstairs, pick up your meal, and then, you don't have to cook anything, you don't have to plan anything, you don't have to spend anything. So yeah, the convenience is definitely there. You're literally on campus, so if you have a class somewhere, you can walk there in probably like 5 minutes, max maybe 10 minutes to get across campus somewhere. And I think it's really nice, especially if you make friends with some of the people in your dorm. You can just literally just walk down the hall, walk down the stairs, and chill with someone that you know, and especially if they're in your classes, you have a question or you want to study together, you can do that. Yeah, I remember at first I definitely did have some homesickness. I miss my parents and my family, but I think you get over it within like a couple of weeks and try to focus more on, the busy schedule that you have in your hands. Yeah. In terms of apartments and stuff, I honestly, maybe I like the dorms better. I like cooking for myself. I think it's fun. I didn't know how to cook at all. I'm not a good cook now, but I don't know. I feel like an independent person when I can,
So
whip something
you
up.
like dorms better, but you like cooking alone.
Yeah, I do like cooking, and I guess the space is nice having your own room. I think it's just a lot less convenient. You never really think about how long it takes to wash your dishes, cook your meals, do your laundry until you have to do it all yourself, and you realize, man, I spent like a quarter of my day on this dirty work that I just have to do that my parents used to do for me. So yeah, it's definitely a lot less convenient. The commute, as long as you're somewhere close on campus, is okay, but I think we chose to live somewhere kind of far away, so it's kind of a tough commute. I am kind of annoyed that I have to wake up a little bit earlier to get to campus on time.
That's true.
But yeah.
All right. Day is coming to an end. It's coming to a close. You pretty much just have sleep in front of you. I know it's probably like past 12, so it's the next day technically, but what time do you sleep? Do you have a nighttime routine? Oh, and also, what's your dinner plan?
What's my dinner plan? Pretty much the same as my lunch plan. I like to eat something hot. I like to go home and cook something up. A lot of times I eat something with rice. I don't know. I'm just used to eating rice. It's just like my comfort food that just fills me up. So I'll literally just make a random meat. Sometimes I'll add a vegetable if I'm feeling healthy, and just put it on rice. And yeah, that usually doesn't take too long. I think for cooking, I think the toughest part, the easy part is cooking it. I think it's fun. You feel kind of productive, kind of trying some new things. The worst part is cleaning up afterwards. I think it takes longer. It's more tedious. No one really wants to do it. So yeah, I just force myself to clean up right after the meal. And yeah, I mean, I'll try to knock out whatever work I have, whatever work I need to do before I go to bed, and brush my teeth and just chill. Sometimes I'll play some games, mobile games or online games with my friends. A lot of my friends are gamers, so we'll log on together and do something. But in terms of when I sleep, probably earliest midnight, which isn't that early, but I don't know. I'm just used to sleeping at midnight these days. So earliest I'll clock out at midnight. If I've got a project due the next day or something that's coming up, I very rarely sleep past 2 or 3. But if the time calls for it, I'll stay up till 4 or 5 a.m. if I really need to.
I hope you guys enjoyed this video. That is basically it. But if you do have any more lingering questions, you can put them in the comment section down below. And wait, do you want them to contact you, or if you have your Insta handle, or no? It's
leave your contact, and then
Jonah will answer. Maybe someone else will answer. Start a discussion, and yeah, that's basically it. Thanks so much again, Jonah.
Thanks for having me.